My name is Gabrielle Sanders. I'm the initial appearance judge. Essentially, just some housekeeping matters. You're going to hear me talk about probable cause, and what that means is that I'm just looking at the charging affidavit to see if there was sufficient evidence to go ahead and arrest you. If you hear that I say no contact, that's exactly what that means. No direct or indirect contact, either with the listed victim or if you have a co-defendant in the case, you are not to have any contact with them. In regards to whether or not you have an attorney, you may hear me say that a public defender has been approved for your particular case. You may also hear above guidelines. If you hear above guidelines, that means that you do not qualify for the public defender's office and that you have to hire your own attorney before the next court date. In addition to that, please do not discuss your case with me. This is not the time to do that. If you hear me grant a bond or you hear me grant no bond, you will have an opportunity to talk to the judge that is assigned to your case. So let's start with Mr. John Cantina.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon. What's that case number?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You've been charged with DUI. I do find probable cause for that offense. Your bond's set for $500. It is going to be with PTR. While you're out on bond, you're not to possess or consume any alcohol, okay? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And for whether or not they have a PDA, you're gonna let me know that ahead of time? Okay, all right. George Comey. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You've been arrested for possession of cocaine, battery, touch, or strike, and petty theft first offense. I find probable cause for the possession of cocaine. Your bond is set for $2,500. I find probable cause for battery. That's also going to be $500 bond. And petty theft first offense, I find probable cause for that, and that's going to be $250. That's going to be with PTR. You're not to return to the 7-Eleven located at 4748 West Earl Bronson Memorial Highway. You're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol, and you are not to have any contact with the listed victim. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I'm going to provisionally appoint the public defender's office to you. Ashley Cruz Rosario.
Requires a Spanish interpreter, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. The interpreter is present. This is Jorge Bonilla, State Certified Court Interpreter.
Good
The interpreter
afternoon.
needs to be sworn in.
Hi.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Did you just say you need to be sworn in?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear to translate from Spanish to English, from English to Spanish, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
To the best of my ability, I do.
Thank you. Judge, can we have the state and the public defender announce their presence on the record as well?
Okay, before we begin, can I have the state attorney place their name on the record?
Angelica Valentine on behalf of the state of Florida.
Representative from the public defender's office in Osceola.
Callie Chrysler, Assistant Public, Callie Chrysler, Assistant Public Defender in Osceola County.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Cruz Rosario, you're arrested for domestic battery. I reviewed the...
Señora Rosario. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
No,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Queda detenida por agresión física por violencia doméstica.
I reviewed the charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause for your arrest. The bond's going to be...
Sorry. We'll get it right. He revisado el pliego acusatorio y determino que hay causa probable para tu arresto.
Your bonds will be set at $500. You're not to have any contact with Miss Sylvia Figueroa, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah.
You're not to return to 933 Woodside Circle, Kissimmee, Florida, 34741. This is going to be with PTR. You can go ahead, Mr. Bonilla.
Thank you, Your Honor. Se determina causa probable, se fija una fianza de $500, se prohíbe el contacto en lo absoluto con Silvia Figueroa, se prohíbe el regreso al domicilio ubicado en el 933 del Woodside Circle, esto es en Kissimmee, Florida, 34741. Esta fianza está sujeta a supervisión bajo la Oficina de Libertad con antelación a juicio.
As part of your PTR conditions, again, you're not to have any contacts, you're not to possess any weapons or firearms, you're not to return to the location. I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement to obtain any personal property that you may have there. Thank you.
Como parte de tu supervisión bajo la Oficina de Libertad con antelación a juicio, como dije, se prohíbe el contacto con la presunta víctima, se prohíbe el regreso al lugar de los hechos, se prohíbe la posesión o tenencia de armas blancas o armas de fuego y se te permite un regreso con escolta policial para recoger efectos personales. Gracias.
Oh, and you do have a public defender assigned to your case.
Y sí se te designa defensor público en tu caso.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Bonilla, can you inquire to see if anyone else needs your services?
Su atención, por favor, en Osceola. ¿Habrá alguien más que necesite los servicios del intérprete en español? Levante la mano ahora.
I've got Elliot, Carmen Elliott.
Okay. Carmen Elliott?
Hello. I'm sorry, it's me.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
This.
Buenas tardes, señora. Good afternoon.
You've been arrested for battery, count 1, and resisting an officer without violence, count 2.
Fuiste detenida en el primer cargo por agresión física y en el segundo cargo por resistir a un oficial del orden público sin violencia.
I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the battery as well as resisting officer without violence.
He revisado el pliego acusatorio, determino que hay causa probable tanto para el cargo de agresión física como para el cargo de resistir a un oficial sin violencia.
As to count 1, your bond's going to be $500.
Se fijan $500 de fianza en el primer cargo.
And you're not to have any contact with listed victim, Michelle Banassi.
Se te prohíbe el contacto con la víctima listada en este caso, Michelle Vanassi.
As to count 2, resisting without officer, I also find probable cause, and that bond is $500.
En cuanto al segundo cargo de resistir a un oficial sin violencia, también determino que hay causa probable y se impone una fianza de $500.
Okay, and this is also with PTR, and you do have a public defender assigned to your case.
Y esto es sujeto a supervisión bajo la Oficina de Libertad con antelación a juicio y tienes un defensor público asignado a tu caso.
Okay, thank you so much.
Ok, muchísimas gracias. Eso concluye la vista.
Okay.
Anyone else that may need the Spanish interpreter?
¿Alguien más que necesita el intérprete en
No, Your
español?
Honor.
Levante la mano.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have a request from the COs if we could deal with Sean's sample.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Bonilla.
Thank you, Your Honor. We will remain on the line to assist with Orange County.
Okay, thank you. Sample.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Sean Sample, good afternoon. Let's see. I've reviewed the arrest warrant for vehicle theft. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is currently set at $2,500. I see that you were out on bond on 19 CF 000693. That bond's gonna be revoked at this time. Does he have a public defender? Oh, okay. Nelsa
Thank you, Your Honor.
Drosa.
She's approaching, Your Honor.
If you all can hear me, can you let me know if the public defender's office has been appointed on these cases? Because we do not have the paperwork up here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
I believe for this case that we are just qualified.
I can barely hear.
I have it now.
Can you pull the mic towards you so I
Yes,
can
Your
hear
Honor,
you?
Oh, sorry. Yes, Your Honor, she does qualify.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Drosa, I'm looking at a charging affidavit for the arrest of count 1, petty theft, first offense. I do find probable cause for that. Count 2 is indecent exposure. I do find probable cause for that. And disorderly intoxication, I also find probable cause. Your bonds as to count 1, petty theft, is $250. For the indecent exposure charge, your bond is $500, and disorderly intoxication, your bond is set for $150. This is with PTR. You are not to go back to the Walmart located at 904 Cypress Parkway. Any other conditions, PTR?
Their pre-trial release should be
Oh,
over
sorry.
there.
Oh, well, all right. Never mind. I see
And
that
Your Honor,
there's,
will you be taking any action on the case she's out on bond on?
yeah, I'm gonna address that right now. The 19 CF 1086, I'm gonna revoke the bond. And PTR, as to the other case, did you have any additional conditions besides the one I said?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Other than no alcohol.
Okay, we'll add no alcohol. Thank you. Michael Foley? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You're arrested for trespass after warning. I do find probable
right.
cause for that arrest. You do have a bond set at $250. You are not to return to the Walmart located at 3183 West Vine Street. You also have a trespass and occupied structure, 19 mm 597, that you are
What's that?
ROR on. I'm gonna go ahead and revoke that bond at this time. Thank you.
Your Honor, he was found incompetent to proceed on that case on February 26th.
I can barely hear you. Can you speak
Oh my
up?
gosh, I'm like, he was found incompetent to proceed on that case on February 26th of this year.
Okay. I can barely hear you, but did you say something about him being found incompetent?
Yes, Your Honor. He was, PPR saw it as well, that he was found incompetent to proceed in 19 mm 597.
Okay, that can
in
be addressed on
February
Monday in
of
front of
this
that judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your Honor, he's also out on ROI status as to 18 mm 8691 as well, also a trespass.
Hold on. Say that case number again?
18 mm 3691.
3691.
I only have access to Orange County. They will have to give you the information on that case.
All right. PTR, do you have any information on that case?
It's also a trespass. his ROR status, and again, he had been found incompetent.
Okay. I'll take no action on the 18M 3691, and as I stated before, you all can take that up with the judge that's assigned to the case. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Norina Garcia. All right, good afternoon. I'm looking at 3 different charging affidavits.
Oh, Your Honor, she would like to waive the reading of these charges.
All charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, in regards to the first one, I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest. The bond is set at $1,000. As to the second case, it's 18MM2266. Bond's gonna be set at $500. In regards to the last case, 18 CF 2311, bond's gonna be set at $15,000. PTR, any conditions?
No, Your Honor, and the charges do not qualify
Okay, thank you.
for PTR.
PD appointed.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor. Do you want me just to let you know when they have not been approved?
Yes, please.
Because, okay. All right. Yes, Your Honor.
Robert Hernandez. Good afternoon. I've reviewed a charging affidavit for battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. This is gonna be with PTR. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, Nikki Hernandez. And you are not to return to 1960 Aladdin Court. I will give you a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve your items. As far as your PTR conditions, you're not to have any weapons. You're not to have any firearm. Thank you.
Your Honor, in this case, the victim in this case has Mr. Hernandez 2 children, which are his and not hers. Can there be maybe third-party communication so he can
A
pick up
third
his
party
case?
in regards
Yes.
to his children?
Or written communication so that he can pick up the children that are his alone.
He can, sir, do you have any other family members that reside in Kissimmee that can potentially bring your kids to you?
I do not.
Okay. And how old are the children?
14 and 12.
I'm sorry?
14 and 12.
13 and 12 years old? Okay. All right, I will allow you to have telephone communication with Nikki Hernandez in regard to the children only. Do you understand me? Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Jenny Johnston. Good afternoon. I'm looking at a charging affidavit for a failure to appear on a written promise on case number 18 CF 1102. That bond's currently set at 0. Thank you. Oh, does she have another one? Oh, Ms. Johnston, come on back. You have another one.
I I have two more, Your Honor.
Case number 2018 CF 3618. This is also failure to appear on a written promise. That bond's currently set at 0. 18 CF 3619 is also a failure to appear on a written promise, and that bond is currently set at 0 at this time. Thank you. Paul Ortiz Cruz. Good afternoon. I received a charging affidavit for trespassing on school grounds, burglary tools, possession, and unlawful use of two-way communication device. I do find probable cause for each count. For trespass on school grounds, your bond's set at $500. For possession of burglary tools, your bond's set at $1,000. And for unlawful use of a two-way communication device, your bond is set at $1,000. This is gonna be with PTR. Your conditions is that you do not have any contact with your co-defendant, and that's Ms. Thez Dennis. You're not to return to St. Cloud Middle School. Any other conditions, PTR?
No, Your Honor, but he does have two other cases.
Okay, I see there's a 19 MM 667. Is that correct? I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, he has a total of 3 new PC cases you should have paperwork on.
Let me see if it got mixed in, 'cause I know there's a no valid or dwellers. Okay. Thank you. So the PTR, the 19 MM 667, was he out on bond on that case?
Yes, Your Honor, he's out on bond in that case out of Osceola. He's also out on bond out of Orange County, and he's also on Osceola County probation for a no valid DL. He has a total of 3 new cases. In addition to the trespass case, he has criminal mischief, another trespass, burglary, possession of burglary tools, and another unlawful use of two-way communication, as well as a new no valid DL.
Okay. The only, okay, well, we'll take it one at a time. So the 19 MM 667 that he was out on bond for, that when he picked up the 2 new law offenses, I'm gonna revoke his bond on that. On the other case, which is, it looks like a duplicate to me. It's essentially the same offenses. The only additional charge is a criminal mischief. So what I will do on that case, I do find probable cause for the criminal mischief. The bond's gonna be set at $500. In regard to the trespass on school grounds, possession of burglary tools, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device, I'm gonna ROR him on those. On the operating motor vehicle without a driver's license, you said that he was out on bond on that count? Or is that a completely
No,
new?
Your Honor, that's a new law offense, but
Okay.
he is on county probation for the same charge in case number 18 CT 2357.
2357. Okay. In regards to the no valid, I do find probable cause. Your bond set at $500. In regards to 18 CT 2357, that's out of Orange County, that bond's revoked. Anything else? No.
2018 CT 2357?
And to be sure, it's 2018 CT 2357?
No, Your Honor, that's the case he's on county probation for. The out on bond case for Orange County is 19 MM 60121.
Can we double check that and make sure it's him?
Yes. And the probation is out of Orange County or Osceola?
The probation is out of Osceola County.
Thank you. Case is not coming up. You have 2019 MM 60121.
Yes, that's what I have. It's not coming up? Then I won't take any action. All right, so I'm not going to take on any action on the 19M 60121 or the 18 CT case since we can't verify that. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Charles Patterson?
He was rejected, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Did you want pretrial release on his other cases as well? Thank you.
All right, Mr. Patterson, I'm reviewing a charging affidavit for possession of marijuana as well as paraphernalia charge. I do find probable cause. Your bond as to possession of marijuana is going to be $250. Your bond in regards to the drug paraphernalia is going to be $500. This is going to be with PTR. You're not to consume or possess any drugs or alcohol, okay? Thank you. Brenda Reese.
She's approaching, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Reese. I have two charging affidavits on a failure to appear on a written promise. The first one's on 18 CT 2538. The bond set on that case is $150. The second case is 18 CT 283. That's also a failure to appear on a written promise, and the bond set at $2,999. Thank you. Chris Santana Rosario. All right, I am looking at a charging affidavit for a criminal mischief, $200 or more. I do find probable cause for that arrest. Your bond is set at $500. This is going to be with PTR. You're not to have any contact with the listed victim, Sylvia Figueroa, and no return to 993 Woodside Circle. You will have a one-time assistance with law enforcement to retrieve any personal property. Thank you. Lannis Shelton. Good afternoon. This is an out-of-county warrant on Putnam County, 180569 CF. That bond is currently set at 0. Thank you. Marilise Nicole Mayo Ortiz.
She's in detox, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, well, we'll reset until she's released.
You want that for tomorrow or Monday?
Monday. Mario Merced.
He's approaching, Your Honor. He would like the reading of his charges waived.
Okay. I reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond set at $500, okay? Thank you.
He has, it's
He has another one? Or no?
No, it's just one.
Okay.
it's 2 counts, Your Honor.
He has more than one? Okay, hold on, Mr. Merced.
He has 3 cases.
Okay. You have another case, 2019 CF 959. I do find probable cause for that arrest as well. Your bond as to count 1 is $5,000. Your bond as to count 2 is $5,000. If you are able to post bond, please do not forget to report, okay? 2019 CF 001278. I do find probable cause for both counts. Count 1 is $5,000, count 2 is $5,000. Again, do not forget to report. And I believe that is all for Mr. Merced. Thank you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Philip Ray Van Clark.
He's also in detox, Your Honor.
You set him to Monday. These Angeles Dennis.
She's approaching.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm looking at 2 charging affidavits for the arrest for the following: criminal mischief over $200, trespass on school grounds, unlawful use of two-way communication device, and burglary tools, possession of burglary tools. In regards to count 1, I do find probable cause. Your bond's $500. As to count 2, I do find probable cause. Your bond set at $500. As to count 3, I do find probable cause. Your bond set at $1,000. As to count 4, I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $1,000. You are not to have any contact with your co-defendant, Mr. Paul Ortiz, and you are not to return to St. Cloud Middle School. In regard to this second case, as I stated before, it appears to be a duplicate case. I'm going to ROR on all counts. Which is the same thing, trespass, unlawful use, and burglary tools. They just didn't add the criminal mischief. Okay, thank you.
No.
She's not PC on the set, so
Which one?
the one you just ROR, no PC.
No, I ROR because it's a duplicate charging
Okay, so
affidavit.
okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Michael Jeffrey Santana Ortiz.
He's in the back, Your Honor.
Mr. Ortiz, can you hear me?
and-
Okay. I'm not quite
this
sure why we're
situation-
here because it looks like you already have, there's a bond on the 2019 MM 1061, which is a new arrest, and you were out on bond on 19 CF 902, so that's, that bond was revoked. So why are we here?
Your Honor, if I may, enlighten you as to this case. The one that was revoked, that you originally revoked, he has since been ROR'd on those charges. He did post his bond on the $500 last week, on Thursday.
Okay.
I brought him to my office to process his PTR. At that time, he refused the PTR, so we were not able to release him. So we took him back to IA's on Friday. However, because you're the presiding judge who signed the initial appearance order, the judge at that initial appearance would not handle it. She wanted it to be brought in front of you. So the question is whether to remain with the PTR or to remove the PTR or,
I'm not removing the PTR. So
yes, Your Honor.
I guess he's going to remain until he can abide by those conditions.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Did I miss anyone? I see no hands. You all have a good day. Thank you.
Nope. Yes, Your Honor. You too.
Okay. or. That was interesting. All right. Oh, gosh, so this is mine.
This is everything. Then I'll take my seal.
Is everyone ready?
After we finish. He's in the New York's, right? Ken? Okay. Okay, got it.
All right. Can I have both the state as well as the public defender place their name on the record?
Yes, Your Honor. Angelica Valentine on behalf of the state of Florida.
Courtney Daly on behalf of the Public Defender's Office.
All right. Elvis Perez?
I'm waiting on Perez, Your Honor.
Okay. Skip him. Carlos Casquillo Hernandez? Do you have an interpreter?
He's on the
Okay. All
The
right.
interpreter can confirm that the defendant can hear through the headsets.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Bonilla. Mr. Carrasquilla reviewed the charging affidavit for trafficking cocaine. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $250,000. Thank you. Who's next? Who's that?
That was Carrasquilla. Is the PD appointed on that case?
Okay, so on the weekends, we don't have notices about PDs on Spanish interpreter cases. So usually the judge goes ahead and provisionally appointed on the Spanish case.
On the Spanish case. Okay. I'll temporarily approve PD.
Se designa defensor público provisionalmente en este caso.
Orange County, we want to do a different affidavit.
Yeah, you guys do. So,
This is Perez.
You put everything together and take everything.
okay. Is this Elvis Perez?
Yes, Elvis Perez.
I've reviewed the charging affidavit. Ms. Daly, do you want me to waive the, or reading, or you're
Yes,
good?
please.
Okay. I'm gonna waive the reading. I did review the entire arrest affidavit. I do find probable cause for counts 1 through 5. The bonds are gonna be set as such. Count 1 is $15,000. Count 2 is $15,000. Count 3 is $10,000. Count 4 is $500, and count 5 is $2,500. And
¿Y ahora cuánto quieren ahora?
So how much do you all want now?
I'm sorry?
No sé cuánto de fianza necesitan ahora yo para llamar a mi esposa.
So how much bond is it total so I can call my wife?
They'll let you know, but if your wife is, hold on. I gotta get to the listed victim. What's her name? I thought I had the listed victim's name on here, but I don't see it. But you're not to have any contact with the listed victim, and you're not to return to her home.
Oh, sí, pero yo quiero ir a vivir en otro lado con mi hija porque yo tengo una mi hija conmigo.
Oh, yes, but I'd like to take my daughter and live somewhere else because I've got my daughter with me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
The no contact orders, they're gonna give it to you for each case, and just sign it.
So I need to do that right now. All right. Okay, any questions?
Sí, entonces ya no puedo regresar con ella.
And so I can't get back with her?
No. You're not to have any contact. You're not to return to the location, because that would be a violation of the court order.
Ajá.
Okay, you have the services of the public defender temporarily assigned to you.
He has some other conditions listed on his.
Where?
Your Honor, would you put the address on the record,
Ajá.
please?
Pero
Sure.
entonces, pero yo no puedo llamar a mi patrón porque yo no sé su número de teléfono, entonces porque mi teléfono se quedó en su casa de mi esposa.
But
Entonces,
I can't call my boss. I don't know his phone number. I left my phone at my wife's house.
All right.
entonces ¿cómo
You're
puedo
not to
salir?
return to 4774 Cassius Street in Orlando, Florida, 32811.
Ajá.
As I stated before, you're not to have any contact with the listed victim. You're not to return to the location. No drugs, alcohol, no weapons or firearms. You understand?
No, sí, claro. Pero si yo puedo salir, puedo ir a traer el dinero ahí donde vive mi patrón porque él no me ha pagado. Yo trabajé esta semana, él no me ha pagado.
Yes, but if I get out, I'd like to go to my boss and get the money because I've worked this week. He hasn't paid me yet. I still haven't gotten the money.
Okay, thank you.
Is the PD
¿Puedo
appointed
ir?
on that case?
Yes,
Can I go?
yes.
¿Puedo ir a traer el dinero entonces?
So can I go get the money then?
Sir, I gave you a bond. I don't know how you're gonna get that money, but that has nothing to do with me.
Ajá, sí, por eso como yo no tengo el número de teléfono del patrón, entonces quiero irme para allá a traer el dinero, a ver si va una
Oye.
policía conmigo.
Well, since I don't have my boss's number, I need to go see my boss and get the money. If maybe law enforcement could go with me.
You see this very nice lady, I've appointed you to her. I've given her the permission to speak to you. She's gonna be your attorney, so if you have any questions, go ahead and ask her.
Ok, gracias, igualmente.
Okay, thank you very much.
Enrique Hernandez Medina.
Yes.
I reviewed the charging affidavit. I'm sorry, an arrest warrant for vehicular homicide and false report. It's an out-of-county warrant, and your bond's currently set for $25,000. And you also, well,
All
this
right.
is an out-of-county, so I can't take any position in regards to a public defender. Thank you.
Que me vienen a buscar de Miami.
So will they come get me from Miami-Dade?
Y yo no puedo llamar para poder pagar la orden.
I can't call in order to try and pay the bond?
That's the pretrial release and inmate records question.
He's got none here.
Okay. What's,
¿Cómo? ¿Puedo llamar? Ok, entonces lo que voy a hacer es, si me dejarían hacer una llamada a Miami. Además,
So
hablar
I'd
con
like
mi
to,
mamá, para que
I'd
me
like to be
pague.
able to get a call and talk to my mom in Miami-Dade, so about this bond.
okay, you have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Daryl Escalera Rosa.
Yes.
I'm reviewing the arrest affidavit for possession of cannabis and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause for both of those counts. Your bond is going to be with PTR. Your possession of cannabis, your bond's $500, and your possession of drug paraphernalia is $100. And with PTR, I want the random drug testing. Okay, thank you.
Is the PD appointed?
Yes. I'm sorry?
Did you order PTR only?
Bond with PTR.
Okay.
George Santana Martinez.
Sí.
Yes.
I reviewed the arrest affidavit for violation of probation. I do find probable cause. The bond is currently set for count, it has two counts. Count one is $1,500. Count two is $1,000.
Okay.
I see a case here, 2019 CF 4333. Tampering with the witness to hinder communication and battery DV. I'm going to revoke your bond on that case. Okay, thank you.
The PD appointed?
Tengo una pregunta.
Yes.
Entonces, ¿cómo haría, me podría fiar pues, entonces por la evaluación de probatoria?
So how do I bond then on the violation of probation?
You can address that with the judge that's assigned to your case.
Okay, pues no, hoy no puedo salir bajo fianza.
But I can't be released on bond today?
No.
Thomas Kentley, he's the fourth case now. That's a lot of attorney.
Yes, I have it. All right.
The interpreter would inquire if there are any other matters before the court, or does that conclude the interpreter docket today?
Do we have anyone? That's it. Thank you, Mr. Bonilla.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great one.
You too. Okay. Thomas James Ketley.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Joe
afternoon.
Wilson on behalf of Thomas Kelty.
Yes.
Your Honor, we're hoping that you will take no action in regards to the other case that he has pending before the court. He has,
The 2018 CF 15401.
that's correct, Your Honor. That is
Okay.
2 counts of possession of a controlled substance and driving while license suspended. Your Honor, in regards to one of those counts, he actually has a prescription for the drug, and the FDLA lab report
In this case?
on the
Okay.
prior case. If I can show the court.
You may.
Okay, may I approach, Your Honor?
You may. And another one.
So they charged 2 charges on it. Like, officers on that it was the actual prescription pill in that case.
All right. I'll take no action on that. That's fine.
Let's talk about the out-on-bond case.
Yes.
On the ones that they double charged, there was some action.
In regards to the possession of heroin case, which is 2019 CF 5208, I did review the arrest affidavit. I do find probable cause for this arrest. Your bond's going to be set at $1,000. This is going to be with PTR, and I'm going to order random drug testing. In regards to 2018 CF 01540180, the court's not going to take any action. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I have one question with the random.
So I need to say that?
Yeah, and then I gave them some orders already, they might have to give back on another.
Okay. Lorenzo Tennille Hayes. Good afternoon.
That's alias.
I'm looking at the warrant arrest affidavit for a VOP. For a DUI. Case number 2018 MM8309. Your bond's currently set at 0 at this time, okay?
Your Honor, just for the record, the defendant's legal name is actually Martez Roby. His legal name is Martez Roby.
Martez or Marquez?
Martez.
Spell that, please.
Martez. Last name Roby, Roby.
R-O-V-Y?
B-Y.
B-Y?
Yeah, and Lorenzo Haynes is the AKA.
Okay. Yep. All right, anything else? Thank you. Daniel Jones.
That's me.
I received an arrest affidavit for battery on law enforcement officer, as well as resisting an officer with violence. I do find probable cause for each of those counts. Your bond as to count 1 is $1,500. Your bond as to count 2 is $1,000. Yeah. That was his only case, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Is the PD appointed?
Yes.
Yes.
PD form on that.
Okay, so that's what that means.
Yeah, this document, they qualify, but
Okay.
if they don't qualify with the sticky notes sticking out, and it says does not qualify.
Okay, great. Carrie Terrell.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, would you like me to waive the reading, or?
Yes, please, Your Honor.
I have reviewed the arrest warrant. I do find probable cause. Your bond's currently set at $1,000, and you do have a public defender assigned to your case. Thank you. Terrence Terrell McMillan.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Your Honor.
I've reviewed the arrest affidavit
Yes,
for
ma'am.
basically possession of ecstasy. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $1,000. Your bond's gonna be with PTR, okay? Part of PTR is not to consume any drugs or alcohol. You're gonna be given random drug testing. Okay? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
PD appointed?
PD is appointed.
Judge,
Yes.
so you just want him to, because he didn't qualify?
Oh,
You just
he
want
didn't?
him to have random tests?
Yes. Thank you.
Just when you like that to start your random testing within 24 hours.
Yes. Anthony Dwayne Sangster.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. I've reviewed an affidavit for the arrest of a vehicle theft. I do find probable cause. Your bond's currently set at $1,000. And you do have a public defender assigned to your case. Yancey Styles.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm reviewing a arrest affidavit for criminal mischief.
Don't care about
I
that.
do find probable cause. Your bond's currently set at $1,500.
Who's gonna bond me out? I have nobody to bond me out.
You have a public defender assigned on your case, so your attorney can speak to you, okay?
You already got a letter from the suit, okay?
Whatever it says here.
Handy Caldwell.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
Doing well. I'm looking at two cases, 2019 MM 147180. It's a warrant arrest affidavit for your failure to appear.
What? To what?
It's a petty theft case, and it was a capious. But you do have bond on this case, and the bond is set at $500.
Yes, ma'am.
In regards to you do have a public defender on that case. In regards to 2019 MM 3117, you're arrested for providing false ID to law enforcement. And as to count 2, a trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause for the arrest. As to count 1, your bond is set at $500. As to count 2, your bond is set at $500.
No.
Reporting the PD to those new cases?
Yes. Thank you.
So it'd be $150 to get out altogether?
She's gonna tell you.
Ain't no problem.
Troy Noble. One quick.
Behavior, so he wasn't present, so they reset it for today.
I have a arrest affidavit in front of me. Count 1, battery on law enforcement officer. Count 2, simple battery. I do find probable cause for these charges. Your bond is set for count 1, $2,500. As to count 2, $100. You are not to have any contact with the listed victims in this case. Any additional conditions besides no contact?
No, no weapons and no firearms, Your Honor.
Okay, no weapons, no firearms. He does have a public defender assigned to the case.
Your Honor, the listed victim is his brother. Could we ask for no hostile contact?
Not right now. It just happened.
Okay.
Thank you. Is it Job Kent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm looking at arrest affidavit. It's a violation of probation for 16 CF 010267. The bond is currently set at 0 for this case. I also see a 2019 CF 3892. Surety bond. I'm not going to take any action on that one. And you do have a public defender assigned to you. James Phelps. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
I'm looking at arrest affidavit for grand theft 3rd degree. I've reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $500. I also have a violation of probation before me, which is for case number 2015 CF 13967. And that's currently set, your bond is currently set at 0 at this time for the VOP, okay? I'm sorry? Okay, you need to report, sir. I'm sorry?
His address.
And make sure you report the correct address, okay?
PD's reported to the grand theft, right?
Yes. Theodros Kabidi? Are you Mr. Kabidi?
Yes, ma'am. Tedros
Okay.
Kabidi. May I say something, Your Honor?
Not yet.
Just 1 second. I've reviewed your arrest affidavit for urinating or defecating in public. I do find probable cause. What did you wish to say?
I have an important...
Did you talk to your attorney before? Because you do have a public defender assigned to you.
He has surgery scheduled on Monday, and he wanted to see if he could resolve his case today.
No.
No, you're.
But I will do a ROR in this case.
So I can leave today?
Yes.
Thank you. I still got to show up, right, next time in court?
Whatever your next court date is, they'll let you
So
know.
I'll be released today.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Poston Richard Kimball,
Yes, ma'am.
review and arrest affidavit for disorderly conduct. I do find probable cause for the arrest. I'm gonna RR you on this one, on this case.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day. Yes, I'm sorry, PD is appointed. Edward James Lewis. I'm looking at a warrant for an arrest affidavit. It's violation of conditions of pretrial release. Do find probable cause. Your bond's currently set at $2,500. You do have a public defender assigned on your case. Do not drive, okay? Without a valid driver's license. Thank you.
What are they doing? I had already burned down on this.
Diamante Elijah Fonseca.
Fonseca.
Okay. I have an arrest affidavit for burglary of a dwelling with assault, battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond is going to be set at $25,000. You're not to have any contact with Carisha Rodriguez Robles. You should not have any unsupervised contact with Carolise Fonseca. No return to 1506 Mona Ave, Ocoee, Florida.
Okay.
And you do have a public defender assigned to you.
Can you, excuse me, Your Honor, can you please repeat the bond amount?
$25,000.
Okay.
The no unsupervised, is that for the minor?
Yes. No, just his baby. Okay. Thank you. You're welcome. You want the spelling? Because I wrote it down. Oh, that's fine.
I don't see it, so just call for order, no contact.
Mark Anthony Perez,
Yes, ma'am.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
I'm looking at arrest affidavit for false imprisonment, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for both counts. As to count one, your bond's gonna be set at $10,000. As to count two, your bond's gonna be set at $500. You're not to have any contact with Miss Jacqueline Sizemore. You're not to return to 2527 West Oak Ridge Road, apartment 1204. And you are not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
The PD appointed?
Yes. Mark Pollock,
Yes.
(2018) CF 12751 is an affidavit for your arrest in regards to count one, battery domestic violence, count two, false imprisonment. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to battery domestic violence, your bond's gonna be set at $500. As to the false imprisonment count, your bond's gonna be set at $10,000. You're not to have any contact with Ms. Shakita Slade, and you are not to return to where she lives. And I see that you are also on community control on 2017 CF 3917. There is a violation, and the bond is currently set at 0. 2017 3698, violation of community control on that case, and your bond is currently set at 0. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. Miguel Cifonte, how do you say your last name?
He's mental health, Your Honor.
Oh, he's still there? Okay. So do you want to reset until he's released or reset until Monday?
You said mental health or hospital?
Mental health.
So we can reset it for tomorrow.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. You must be Deontay Williams?
Yes.
I'm looking at an arrest affidavit for battery by strangulation, domestic violence, and battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for these offenses. As to the battery by strangulation, your bond set at $10,000, and as to battery domestic violence, your bond set at $500. You're not to have any contact with Ms. Chantriel Cruz. You're not to return to 1241 South Kirkman Road, apartment 3130, and that is the Island Club Apartments. Thank you.
Is the PD appointed?
Yes. Paul Andrew Corey.
He's mental health, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Set him for tomorrow.
Correct.
Quentin Pendleton.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at arrest affidavit for the arrest of battery domestic violence. I do find probable cause for this offense. Your bond's going to be set at $500. You're not to have any contact with Ms. Jacinta Hort. No weapons or firearms. No return to the location of her residence. And it's not listed, but don't go to her address, okay?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
PD appointed?
PD is appointed. Vincent Antonio Brown. I've reviewed an arrest affidavit for count 1, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and count 2, another aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I do find probable cause for each count. Count 1, your bond is $2,500. Count 2, your bond is set at $2,500. You're not to have any contact with the list of victim, Mr. Ranjakumar Patel and Rashish J. Patel. You're not to return to the area of 929 West Colonial Drive, which is the Ambassador Hotel. Okay, thank you.
PD appointed?
Yes. 2,500 each count. Thank you. Jaquez Chambers. I'm looking at an arrest warrant for possession of ecstasy, fleeing, attempting to elude police officers, driving while license suspended, 2 prior convictions, and possession of cannabis. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. Count 1, your bond is going to be $2,500. Count 2, your bond's going to be set at $1,000. Count 3, your bond is $150, and count 4, your bond is $100. You do have a public defender assigned to you on this case. Thank you. Gregory Chapman.
Yes, ma'am.
I have an arrest affidavit for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, which is count 1, count 2 is battery, and count 3 is resisting officer without violence. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is going to be $1,500. As to count 2, your bond's going to be $500. And as to count 3, your bond is set at $500. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. This is, he does not qualify for PTR, correct? Okay. You're not to have any contact with victim Ian Stewart, okay?
Yes.
Travis Cone.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at an arrest affidavit, failure to appear. Case number 2018 CF 13250. That bond is currently set at 0. You do have a public defender assigned on your case. Okay? Thank you. I'm sorry? Is that the 2018 CF 18132? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and revoke that bond at this time. Thank you. Braxton Crenshaw. Looking at an arrest affidavit for grand theft, 3rd degree, motor vehicle. I've reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bond is set at $1,000 on this case. Your second case, it appears, is out of Brevard County? Yes, and that case is set at 0 at this time. And he does, let me see. I didn't see a PD on this one. Yes. Okay, so you have a public defender assigned on the Orange County case. Okay, thank you. Ruben Curtis. You Mr. Curtis?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 4 cases before me. Case number 19 CF 3893. Petty theft, 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause for this arrest. Your bond's currently set at $1,000. You're not to return to Publix, all the Publix. So all the cases I'm gonna talk to you about, don't go to Publix, okay?
Okay.
All right. 19 CF 3893. I already have that one, all right. 19 CF 4222. Another petty theft, 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause for this arrest. Your bond is set at $2,500. Again, no return to Publix. 2019 CF 4223. Petty theft, 2 prior convictions. I do find probable cause for this offense. Your bond set at $2,500. Again, no return to Publix. 19 CF 4234, grand theft, 3rd degree. I do find probable cause, and your bond is $2,500. And again, no return to Publix. You do have a public defender assigned on all 4 cases. Latrice Felton.
Bonded, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Joshua King Flavin.
Yes.
I have an arrest affidavit for battery on a uniformed licensed security officer as well as trespass on property after warning. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is $2,500. As to count 2, your bond's $100. The conditions of your release will be that you do not have any contact with the listed victim, which is Quincy Dennis. You do not return to Andrade Indoor Karting, which is located at 9299 Universal Boulevard. You do not possess or consume any drugs or alcohol. This is going to be with PTR. And I see here that you have 18 CT 2420. I'm not going to take any action on this one. Okay, thank you.
Is the PD appointed?
Yes.
That's bond with pretrial release, granted.
No, just no drugs. You know what? Yes. 'Cause, yeah, are they supposed to? Yeah.
Pretrial release.
Pretrial release, yes.
Okay.
RUAs. Thank you. I've been looking at these too long all day. Okay. Is it Dewan Maurice Flores?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Looking at an arrest affidavit for the following offenses: trafficking meth with a weapon, possession of firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted delinquent, and resisting an officer without violence. I've reviewed all of these offenses. I do find probable cause for your arrest. As to count 1, your bond's gonna be $100,000. As to count 2, your bond's gonna be $4,000. As to count 3, your bond is $150. And as to count 4, your bond's $100. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. Thank you. Mondell Gray.
Yes, ma'am.
I reviewed an arrest affidavit for the following offenses: grand theft 3rd degree, criminal mischief, burglary of a structure, and possession of burglary tools. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is $3,000. As to count 2, your bond is set at $500. As to count 3, your bond is set at $500. And as to count 4, your bond is set at $100.
Excuse
You
me,
also
I'm sorry.
You also have 2019 CF 2131, and he was on ROR in that particular case, correct? Yes. Okay, that bond's gonna be revoked at this time. I'm sorry, ROR will be revoked at this time. And you do have a public defender assigned to you.
My name is this is not my name. This say defendant Melissa, wherever that is.
Your Honor, the warrant does say that the defendant Melissa Quadrino, in the body of the arrest warrant, it's
For the 2019 CF 4533,
yes.
for the arrest warrant? Okay, hold on.
I don't know nothing like
It's okay. Hang on.
Where are you looking?
So if you look here, can I approach?
Sure. Oh, that's not what mine says. Mondell's. On your copy? Yeah. Okay. My copy says your name, sir. I don't know why. It's different.
Well, I don't,
What was scanned into the system?
What you have.
Okay.
I don't want to train. I'm talking about folks.
All right, thank you. Right, Tiffany Hall,
Yes.
looking at arrest affidavit for grand theft, 300 or less. I'm sorry, grand theft, 300, less than $5,000. I did review the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Your bond's currently set at $500.
Your Honor, the arrest affidavit I have is blank.
I'm sorry?
The arrest affidavit I have is blank.
For her?
Yes. I would say that there's no probable cause, since there's nothing in the four corners of the document.
She's saying this is blank.
I believe we have the same thing. We only.
You only have, yeah. So your argument is like there's no PC because there's no factual basis?
That is correct, Your Honor.
State?
Your Honor, if the state can request a 24-hour reset to get probable cause from the arresting officer in this case.
All right. Got 24 hours.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Daniel Harp. I have an arrest affidavit for possession of ecstasy. Find probable cause for this arrest. Your bond set at $1,500. This is going to be with PTR. Random drug testing. You cannot consume any drugs or alcohol. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
PD appointed?
Yes.
You're gonna pay $1,500
Tyson Herzig.
Yes, ma'am.
One second. All right. I have an arrest affidavit for an attempted burglary of occupied structure. I find probable cause for this offense. And I'm sorry, it's attempted burglary of occupied structure. That bond is gonna be set at $2,500. And that's gonna be with PTR. You're not to return to the Walgreens drugstore located at 4502 South Orange Blossom Trail. You do have a public defender assigned to you. I'm also looking at 2019 MM 2286. Trespass, property other than structure or conveyance. I'm going to revoke that bond at this time. Thank you.
No, she revoked it.
Judge, you just want bond plus pretrial release, not with the random, right?
No.
Your Honor, Mr. Herzig doesn't qualify for PTR, so if he bonds out, how will he be able to?
He does not qualify?
It says right here, he doesn't qualify for PTR. So,
I didn't know she was ordering just random drug testing.
She was ordering bond.
yeah, I was like, can you do that? I just want to clear it up, because I don't want people to pay a bond and not be able to get out, because they don't qualify for PTR.
The attempted burg doesn't qualify for PTR?
No, he didn't qualify. Let me see the reason why. He's out of bond.
That's why he didn't qualify? All right. Because typically they do qualify. All right, well, you can scratch the PTR since I revoked the bond on the other case anyways. Okay, thank you.
PD appointed?
Yes. David Irizarry.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking, it looks like this is a failure to appear for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and the bond is currently set at 0. Does this mean he has a PD?
No, that's just the advice for the, he didn't fill out a form. Let me see what we have in our system. PD previously appointed.
Okay, you have a public defender assigned to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andrew Kirscher. You're arrested for grand theft 3rd degree. I find probable cause for that offense. Your bond's currently set at $2,500. You are not to return to the Lowe's located at 3500 South Cimarron Boulevard. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You said he does?
Yes, he does.
All right.
Would Your Honor
So that's
reduce
gonna-
the bond to PTR then, since he qualifies? Would Your Honor reduce the bond to PTR since he qualifies?
I'll reduce it to $1,500. So it's bond with PTR.
PD appointed?
Yes. Sarah Elizabeth Klepper,
Yes.
viewing an arrest warrant for grand theft 3rd degree. I do find probable cause for this offense. Your bond has already been set at $500. The conditions of your release will be that you do not return to the scene of the offense. No contact directly with victim, co-defendant, or witness. And that you do have a public defender assigned to you.
Put those names on the record, have no contact with?
Sure. Do you have the names? Because it's not on the attached.
Does the state have the information?
Do you have any information in regards to, it says no contact with the victims, co-defendants. I doubt if there's a co-defendant on here, but the victims.
Your Honor, I believe I do have the victim's name. Give me a second. I believe her name is Gayle, Gayle. Last name Kulik.
Okay.
And Your Honor, if we may have the defendant verify the spelling of her first and last name.
Ma'am, how do you spell your first and last name?
Sarah, S-A-R-A, Klepper, K-L-E-P-P-E-R.
Klepper?
Yes, they have it wrong.
Okay.
They done it wrong on the warrant in Port Manatee.
Okay.
I told them, but they said it didn't matter, so I said,
If I haven't said it, she does have a public defender. Okay, thank you. Marquisha, hold on. This is wrong. Rafael Lopez, right? I have a charging affidavit in front of me. It's for fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement officer with sirens and lights, and count 2 is grand theft, 3rd degree. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. As to count 1, fleeing and attempting to elude, your bond's gonna be set at $1,000. In regards to the grand theft 3rd degree, your bond's gonna be set at $500. You're not to return to the Home Depot located at 7007 Narcousie Road. I see that you have another case, 2019 CF 37110. It's a possession of cocaine. You're on bond on this case. I'm going to go ahead and revoke it. You do have a public defender assigned to you. All right.
You know what, he didn't.
He did not?
Yeah, I overlooked it.
Okay.
Someone else did.
Okay. We'll move on. Thank you. You're Martricia?
Mm-hmm.
You, did you say something?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I'm looking at an arrest affidavit for grand theft 3rd degree motor vehicle. I find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,000. This is gonna be bond with PTR. All right. No other conditions. Thank you.
PD appointed?
Yes. Nathan Michael Ricard.
Yes, ma'am.
2019 CF 5228. I have an arrest affidavit for possession of cocaine and possession of alprazolam. I have reviewed the arrest affidavit and I do find probable cause for these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is set at $1,000. As to count 2, your bond is set at $500. You have another case, 2018 CF 2053. It's a failure to appear for possession of cocaine and carrying concealed firearm. That bond is currently set at $0. Does this mean he has the PD? It's a little short.
No. You can fill out a form, but I can double check it.
Okay, thank you.
He does not have the PD in the FTA case.
Does not have a PD for the FTA. How about the other case, the first one?
He would have to fill out a clinical.
Okay. Sir, if you wish to have an attorney represent you, a representative from the Public Defender's Office, you do have to fill out some paperwork, okay? Or you can hire your own attorney.
I have a paid attorney, she doesn't know that I'm arrested yet, so I have to get a hold of her.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Travis Riley. All right. I'm looking at an arrest warrant for uttering a forged check. I do find probable cause. Your bond is currently set at $1,000. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Mr. Aquan Santos?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at an arrest affidavit for the following offenses: possession of controlled substance, and count 2, providing false identification to law enforcement. I've reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for these offenses. As to count 1, your bond is set at $1,000. And as to count 2, your bond is set at $500. Qualifies for PTR, right? He does not? Okay. All right. You do have a public defender assigned to you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that Shauna Shirley?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Shirley, I'm looking at arrest affidavit for drug possession, synthetic cannabis.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I do find probable cause for the arrest. Your bond's gonna be set at $1,000.
Is there any way I could be able to be on the RR since I've never missed court or anything? I have a young child and a blind gentleman at home.
Well, you have another case,
Yes, I
2019
know.
CF 409. Yeah, so.
Yes, I know.
No, I'm not gonna do that because I'm gonna have to revoke your bond on the, revoke ROR in that case, okay? Because you picked up the new law, okay? But you do have a PD assigned to you, so they can ask the judge that has your case for either a lower bond or to reinstate bond on the, 2019 CF 409120, okay? Louis Barson?
Yes, ma'am.
I've reviewed an arrest affidavit for criminal mischief. I do find probable cause. Your bond is currently set at $1,000. You're not to have any contact with Maria Malenko. I'm going to order that you do not return to 1515 Worst Road. And you do have a public defender assigned to you on this particular case. You also have 19 CF 3731. That is a burglary of structure, possession of burglary tools. Gonna revoke your bond. This is 19. You have 19 CF 3730. That's also another burglary of structure. I'm gonna go ahead and revoke the bond on that case. You have 19 MM 270, resisting an officer without violence, providing false ID to law enforcement. I'm gonna go ahead and revoke the bond in that particular case. All right, thank you.
PD appointed on those cases that you revoked bond. We weren't previously appointed.
Were they previously appointed? They were not. They were not? Okay, they were not.
So I'm saying, could we be appointed on?
You can.
Okay.
I believe Nicholas Taylor bonded out.
Yes, ma'am.
Rashard Tillman. I'm looking at arrest affidavit for trafficking meth with a weapon. And count 2 is possession of firearm and or ammunition by a convicted felon. I do find probable cause for these offenses. count one, your bond's gonna be set at $100,000. And count two, your bond's set at $4,000. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. Thank you. Cyril White? Mr. White? Okay. I'm looking at arrest affidavit for grand theft.
Your Honor, there's no factual basis in the arrest affidavit. This one is also blank, so we challenge there's no probable cause.
State?
Your Honor, we may have 24 hours to get probable cause in this case.
You may.
Thank you.
Ellis White?
Yes.
I have an arrest affidavit for possession of meth and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do find probable cause for these offenses. As to count one, your bond set at $1,000. As to count two, your bond set at $100. All right, you do have a public defender assigned to your case. All right, thank you. William White?
He bonded, Your Honor.
Are you Donovan
Zephyr.
Pfeiffer? How do you say your last name?
Zephyr.
Zephyr. All right. Right, I have an arrest affidavit for possession of cocaine and possession of cannabis. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. I do find probable cause for these offenses. The bond will be set as to count one, $1,000, and as to count two, $100. You have another case, 2018 CF 014312. You are out on bond on this case. I'm going to revoke that bond. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. Douglas Lesma.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at arrest affidavit. It's a failure to appear. Case 2018 MM 7361. And bond is currently set for this at $2,500.
Is there any way we'll resolve this right now?
Not today, sir. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. Thank you.
When is the next court date?
We don't know yet. They'll provide that to you, sir. Oh, all right, thank you. Andrea Eddy,
She's mental health, Your Honor.
thank you, we'll reset her. Jose Manuel Ramirez Rodriguez.
Correct.
I'm looking at an arrest affidavit as a failure to appear in case 2013 CT 2688. Your bond is currently set at $2,000. I don't see, does he have a PD with this little short sheet? We're gonna check to see if you have a public defender assigned to you. Okay. Yes, you do. You have a public defender assigned to your case. Okay, thank you. Are you Miss Valerie Ruiz?
Yes.
I'm looking at an arrest affidavit for no valid driver's license. I do find probable cause for this offense. Your bond's gonna be $250. You do have a public defender assigned to you. All right, thank you.
What's the bond on the parole?
I'm sorry?
On the parole, should see other count. I believe it's at 0 if I had to guess.
You don't set it?
Not parole.
No, we
I
don't
just
have
wanted
it.
to clear up I wanted someone to tell me on the court what it was. It was 0. Thank you.
No bond?
Yeah, there's no bond on your parole, so don't bond out. Contact your attorney. She'll send you a letter.
Jose Rafael Sanchez Morales.
Yes, ma'am.
The first case is 2019 CT 2000. It's a failure to appear for a driving while license suspended case. The bond is currently set at $500. Your second case is 2017 CT 5999. It's also a failure to appear on another driving while license suspended. That bond is $100, okay? Don't drive. Thank you. And do you have a PD? Yep, you have a PD assigned to you.
Okay, thank you.
David Bain. Good afternoon, Mr. Good afternoon, Mr. Bain. You can hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. I'm looking at arrest affidavit for trespass on property after warning. I reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. Do not return to the town center area in Disney Springs, located at 1468 East Buena Vista Drive, okay? You do have a public defender assigned to your case, sir. Thank you.
I don't have no offer.
I'm sorry?
I don't have an offer.
You don't have an
Wants to know
off?
if he can resolve this case. I think
Not
it's a
today.
case.
Okay. all
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Okay. Lavaris Foster.
His behavior.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna give you a
Michael Heron.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, I'm looking at arrest affidavit for trespass on property after warning.
Ma'am.
Don't say anything yet, but don't interrupt her. Just let her talk, and then
Okay. I reviewed the affidavit. I do find probable cause. Your bond's gonna be set at $500. Do not return to the McDonald's located at 3162 University Boulevard. You do have a public defender assigned to you. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Was that 500 you said?
Yes.
Can I have any type of offer, plea?
Not today, sir. Jenny Mueller.
She's behavior, Your Honor.
Okay. Bill Pollard.
Behavior.
I'm looking at an arrest affidavit for possession of cannabis. I do find probable cause for this offense. You qualify for PTR, right? No. No? Okay. Your bond is going to be set at $250. You do have a public defender assigned on your case. Thank you. Larry Sanders.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good afternoon. I have a charging affidavit, an arrest affidavit for 2019 MM 372. It's a battery. I do find probable cause for this offense. Your bond set at $500. Please do not make any contact with a Chantel Bronson.
Yes, ma'am.
You do have another case, 2017 CF 0160821. It's for possession of cocaine, possession of 20 grams or less of cannabis. You're out on bond on this, so I'm going to go ahead and revoke it at this time. You do have a public defender assigned to you.
I gotta go to work, Your Honor.
Thomas Smith. Have an arrest affidavit for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause for this offense. Gonna reduce bond to $250. Actually, I'm gonna ROR on this case. Mr. Smith, please do not go back to the convenience store, okay? All right, have a good day.
PD appointed?
Yes. Kelly Boyd. Looking at an out-of-county arrest from Brevard County. The bond is already currently set, and it's set at $2,500. Okay, and let's see. And there's another case. So 2008 CF 44588. That bond is set at $2,500. 2008 CF 44587, which is also another Brevard County out-of-county warrant. That's set at $12,500. And do you have another one?
I have 3 cases.
Okay. It's a 44587. Is that the one I'm missing?
I have 44587, 44588, and 10960.
Ah, yes. Okay, I have it. This is another Brevard County warrant, and that bond is set already at $12,500. Thank you. Deanna Brown. This is an out-of-county warrant. I'm trying to find out where this, Seminole County, all right. And it's case 19913 CFA. And the judge in that county has set the bond at 0. Okay, thank you. Felicia, is it Effiong?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, 2019 CF 22179. This is the out-of-county warrant. Brevard County, there's 4 counts. And there is bond set for each of the counts. So count 1 is $5,000, count 2 is $5,000, count 3 is $5,000, and count 4 is $10,000. Okay? Thank you. Is that Lake County?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Is it Rayanna Hamilton?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm looking at an out-of-county warrant, 19MM 899. Looks like Lake County. You do have a bond already set, and it's set at $2,000. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
The next one is Lake County as well. The out-of-bond cases is out of Orange County.
Which for Christopher Hamlin?
Yes.
Right. Good afternoon, Mr. Hamlin. 2019 CF 399, out-of-county warrants from Lake County. It's 3 counts. You have bonds on count 1 set at $5,000, count 2, $2,000, count 3, $2,000. All right, let's see. You currently,
Yes, it's two, it should be 2 pages.
yes, I have it. You're out on bond on 2018 CF 016341 for dealing stolen property, burglary of conveyance, and receiving money from a pawnbroker, false verification. Your bond's gonna be revoked at this time. You have another case, 2018 CF 012169, dealing stolen property, burglary of conveyance, and receiving money from pawnbroker, false verification. That bond's gonna be revoked at this time as well.
How do,
Okay. And let me see if you have a public defender.
He has the PD on both of his bond cases.
For out on bond, okay.
Your Honor.
So,
it's a different county.
Hang on, let me talk. Oh, were you to say something? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say for the, Orange County case, he has a public defender.
Yes, and I was gonna say, why are we revoking his bond since these are out-of-county warrants? There's no probable cause to believe he committed.
I'm not
a lawful-
revoking his bond on the out of county.
No, I'm talking about our cases, the Orange County ones.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we revoking those bonds? Because this warrant is for outside of Orange County. Like, there's no probable cause to believe he committed a new
So
law.
you're saying that the new law offense, 19 CF 399, should not revoke his,
Is that a new law offense warrant, or is that a failure to appear warrant?
it just says out of county warrant.
It's a warrant that I haven't been here since, I've been in, out of state since August, and I just came to court and that warrant popped up. And my bondsman said that it shouldn't affect my Orange County, bond.
It
that's
sounds
already
like it's a
paid.
failure to appear warrant.
Okay, hold on.
Here's some more information, you can see what pretrial services have in regards to, the out-of-county cases. Or maybe the state can provide additional information.
PTR, do you have any information on the Lake County warrant? Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. In that case, I can't touch the out-of-county warrant for the bonds on that case, but I will reinstate the bonds on your Orange County cases.
So they're not revoked on the
They're
Orange
not
County cases?
revoked, okay? Thank you. Mr. Joseph Ayala?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a arrest affidavit for 2019 CF 5145 for the following offenses: possession of controlled substance, possession of cannabis, and possession of a prescription drug without prescription.
Your
I-
Honor, there's no factual basis in the arrest affidavit. This has already been reset once.
Your Honor, the state does have a factual basis for the arrest in this case. If I may provide defense with a
You
copy
may.
of the affidavit.
And if you could tell me which counts you are going to be objecting to?
Before it was all three, but I got this new information, so let me see.
Okay.
I withdraw that objection based on the new information.
Can I see what you're looking at? Thank you. I do find probable cause for each of these offenses. Count 1, your bond's gonna be set at $1,000. Count 2, your bond's gonna be set at $100. And count 3, your bond is going to be set at $500. You do have a public defender assigned to you. I have another case. It's a violation of probation on 2018 CF 1936. And that bond is currently set at 0 because of these new law offenses. Thank you. Kevin Roswell Priester?
Mister.
I have a VOP affidavit for 2016 CF 14805. The bond in this case is already set at 0. And that particular case is in front of Judge Cast. 2016 CF 015192. It's another violation of probation. And that case as well is set at 0, and that judge is Judge Traver. So you have 2 different judges that you'll have to appear in front of. And you do have a public defender assigned to your case. Rosa Rivera. Danica Barrow. You Miss Barrow?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at 2017 CF 8458, which is a violation of probation for, I guess, the underlying offense, grand theft, 3rd degree. The bond is currently set at 0. And let me see.
Is GD appointed?
We can ask her if she wants an attorney, or if she hired her own.
Ms. Barr, are you going to be hiring your own attorney?
Leslie Sweets.
You are?
I already hired Leslie Sweets.
Oh, okay. Ms. Sweet's going to represent you? Okay. Thank you. Roberto Colon.
Yes, Your Honor.
This is also a violation of probation in case number 2017 CF 12244A. And that bond is currently set at 0. You do have a public defender assigned to your case.
Thank you.
To Jarvis Fuller.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a violation of PTR conditions on a domestic violence case, 2018 MM 255A.
I don't know what Judge will say about that. I think she's there.
That bond is currently set at 0. You do have a public defender assigned to your case.
No.
Carly Glenn. I'm looking at violation of probation affidavit on 2017 CF 4335A. Sale and delivery of heroin. In this particular case, it's currently set at 0 bond. You have the NTA on 2019 MM 109. I'm not gonna take any action on that.
Your Honor, would you revoke the bond since she's gonna be held no bond on the VOP, so she can gain time?
I can do that. I'll revoke bond on 2019 MM 109. Brennan Jones, VOP on 2017 CF 10269. Your bond's currently set at 0. You do have a public defender assigned to your case. John Herbert Rafferty. Okay, I'm looking at 3 different cases. The first one is a violation of probation. It's in case 2018 CF 4948. That bond's currently set at 0. The second case is 2019 CF 5224. It is an arrest affidavit for the following offenses. Count 1's possession of cannabis. Count 2's possession of cannabis with intent to deliver and sell. And count 3's possession of drug paraphernalia. Find probable cause for these offenses. Count 1, bond's gonna be set at $1,000. Count 2, bond is set at $1,000. And count 3, bond is set at $500. Your third case is 2019 CT 2860. Alright. So driving while license suspended. I've reviewed the the affidavit. It appears that there is probable cause for this arrest. Your bond set at $500, and you do have a public defender on these cases. Is this something?
I had to print one up because I didn't have an order for it. That was the VOP.
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. Andrew James Rojas. Looking at a violation of probation, case 2015 CF 1606. It's currently set at 0 bond. New offense 2019 MM 3113. Possession of cannabis. I do find probable cause for this offense. Your bond will be set at $500, and you do have a public defender assigned to you. Robert Simmons. I have 2 violations of probations in front of me. The first one is 2018 CF Is that 696?
Yes.
696, and that bond's set at 0. The second one is 2016 CF 4581. That bond is currently set at 0. You do have a public defender assigned on both of the cases.
Your Honor, there's no factual basis in the arrest affidavit for the possession of cannabis and the possession with intent to deliver. All I have is the VOP.
There's 2 VOPs.
Right, what I'm saying is that all I have is that he was on, has a violation of probation by committing this offense, but there's no facts, no factual basis.
It's on view.
For the possession of
Which case are
marijuana-
you referring to, so I
The
can be clear?
possession of marijuana and the possession with intent to deliver, sell and deliver.
I'm sorry?
He was already IA'd on that case yesterday.
IA'd? Okay.
So we were just dealing with the VOP today? Okay. What was the bond on the first other two, even though they were yesterday? Do you have them available? Thank you.
Antonio Williams? This is also a violation of probation, case number 2018 CF 12350AO. The bond set at 0. And you do have a public defender assigned to you. Bobby Bowman. This is a arrest affidavit soliciting without permit. I did review the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'm going to go ahead and ROR you on this.
Is the PD appointed?
Yes. Stephen Christopher McCarter. Good afternoon. I have an arrest affidavit for disorderly conduct. I reviewed the charging affidavit. I do find probable cause for the arrest. I'm going to ROR you on this offense.
Is the PD appointed?
Yes. Anyone else?
No, they're not.
I have nothing else. All right. Thank you, everyone. Court's adjourned.
Thank you.
Sure. That did not feel like 80 cases.